All right. We're back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from, yep, the Rock Cave. Hope you're all doing well today. Have you recovered from meeting Willie Phoenix? I hope so. Willie, I know you're out there. Give me a ring. Anyway, I do love Wednesday's opportunity for me to share some music with you that maybe you've never heard before. And obviously, sometimes it's for a reason, but there are some gems in there. And I looked at the calendar, and next week is not an unknown, but someone that might be under the radar for a lot of people. So we got lots of good stuff in store. And next week, starting Sunday, we got a whole week of a whole lot of something. Can't wait. Anyway. What do we got going on today? Thursday, September 3rd. All right. We're going back to England. We're going back to the UK, across the pond. We spent a lot of time in the late 70s and up until like 85. As I've talked about, there's an area in music time when it's kind of like a musical abyss, we call it. By we, I mean me. Even like 88, 89, 90, like specifically 88, 89 rough years for music. Anyway, at least in my life. So even though I was enjoying what I was listening to, but there was some CNC Music Factory in there, we'll just say that. So we're going across the pond again. We already talked about Madness. And at that same time, on that same trip, when I went to London with Angela in 1992, I think, and I went to that Virgin Megastore, I heard Madness first, but then I heard this band, and I was like, wow, this is pretty good. So I gave them a chance. And that band is the Jam. The Jam, they didn't really make it very big over here, did they? They had a couple of hits that you hear now on the radio on Sirius XM, but I don't know what their story is in the United States. I know some of you are fans out there, Mike. But I don't know how many Jam fans there were overall. So I'd like to hear from you if you were listening to the Jam. But the Jam, late 70s, early 80s, basically punk, mod revival, new wave mixed together. They sold a lot of records in the UK. They put 18 consecutive singles in the top 40 there. 4 of them went to number 1. They were just like huge. I mean, to say they're huge, it was like Beatlemania for the Jam, pretty much. Speaking of the Beatles, on that show, Top of the Pops, which you can see a lot of performances on, the performers perform one song, but the Jam came out, when they came out with one of their songs, they played 2, and the only other band up until that point to do that, at least I read this to be true, was the Beatles. So that's interesting. Why are we doing the Jam today? Well, Bruce Foxton, the bass player and backing vocals, is 65 years old today. He started off on lead guitar, and Paul Weller was the bass player and lead vocal, still stayed lead vocal. And then they switched roles as far as guitar playing is concerned. And you remember Paul Weller, he's a pretty famous name. He went on and did some things also. But basically for a time there, the Jam was just like followed by millions of teenagers in the United Kingdom, and their live shows just became legendary, and you just like, it was just insane, total insanity. So I don't know if the United States really kind of picked up on that, but they had some good tunes out there. I like their music. So you got songs, the ones that we know on this side of the pond, I think you guys can add to it, are Town Called Malice, That's Entertainment, and Going Underground. The double A side of Town Called Malice was called a double A side. They had 2 hits, one on one side, one on the other. I think it was called A and A, and that other song was Precious. But if you told me, Mark, you got to pick one song from the Jam, what's it going to be? Because that's what we're doing here at the Cave. We're trying to do our best to pick the one. It has to be Town Called Malice. What a great song. I mean, this is an awesome song. If you don't know this song, give it a listen. Tell me what you think. But that's the Jam. 1982. Great song. That's Entertainment would have been my second choice, but the clear winner for me is A Town Called Malice. So we're doing the Jam today. Like I said, we got a lot of good stuff coming down the pike for September. I'm excited about this month. some real good stuff. Thanks for sticking with me as usual. And hey, you know what? You know the deal. I'll catch you on the flip side.